So in this module of On-Demand for SharePoint, we'll talk about organizing your site collections for migration. So let's access the SharePoint module. I've previously discovered content, so I don't have to rediscover the content. However, I have a large amount of content sitting from the discovery. One of the things that you can do within On-Demand is create what we call collections. This is your own grouping of specific content. So for an example, I have several site collections by the title Contoso. So if I wanted to, I can create a collection of these sites to only work with that content. I will do that for Contoso as well as for sales. So one of the things that I can do, and what we'll do is we'll add that to the collection here. So first things first, in the upper right-hand corner, we want to create the collection, basically like the folder structure. So the title will be Contoso. And so you will now see that we have a collection called Contoso. Next, let's create a collection for sales. Now we have two collections. Now that the collections have been built, we need to add the site collections into each one of the collections. So using the checkbox option here, we will just select the individual sites that we want to go in each one of the collections. We access that through the More Actions drop-down option here for Add to Collection. So what we're saying is add those selected site collections to this particular collection. We select that from the drop-down, and that will go into Contoso. Save. And now we've added those SharePoint site collections into that one collection. I will deselect those real quick. Scroll down for the sales site collections. Sales east, north, south, and west. Go through the same operation. Add to collection. Select sales and save. At any point in time, you can always manually add any other site collection to an existing collection. So for an example, if I now want to view sales, we're only going to see the site collections that we've already added to that particular collection. Of course, we can swap or switch between any of the collections here, but perhaps we missed one. We can always go back to Show All, which is going to be back to the 58 site collections, and we can manually add. So for an example, I forgot Sales Best Practice. I can select that one particular site and still add it to the collection for sales. And of course, now I can access sales. It now includes all of the site collections. That concludes organizing and creating collections for On-Demand for SharePoint migration.